And we're here, ladies and gentlemen. Faithletic, the podcast, live and in color. We are back for this very special edition.
So special.
So special.
So special. So nice. You
Yeah.
You really wanted us, to
Well, you couldn't get enough of
to
us
hear
on
us
Thursday.
twice. Yeah, exactly.
The overwhelming response from Thursday's show, supply and demand, baby.
Overwhelming.
Overwhelming. And we thought, well, heck, since one of the reasons is both of us have commitments on Thursday, and we didn't want to leave you guys out for just, like 2 weeks.
No way. That's true. My wife has a choir concert,
Yes,
and
absolutely.
she is a choir instructor.
Tell us about that.
She's a choir teacher.
Okay.
I'm required to go to 2 concerts a year because she has many of them.
Yeah. You only committed to 2. Though.
She only wants me to go to 2.
But I bet you go to more than that.
No. I used to.
But you don't.
And then I was like, this is another middle school choir concert. I love you, my bride, my wife.
Shout out to Mrs. Kyle.
Yes.
I don't know. Can we say her name? Jessica.
Yeah,
okay.
I don't care.
Okay. She, by the way, leads the worship at our church and phenomenal voice.
Fantastic.
Yep. Good entertainer. Too.
Yes.
Yep. Enjoys what she does.
Yes.
Yep.
But anyway, I go to the Christmas concert and I go to the spring musical, and here we are.
I thought maybe it was something connected with Point of Grace or something initially.
Originally, yes, it is the same night.
Yeah.
Point of Grace is coming to Trinity Baptist Church with Aaron Schust. If you want to go, great.
Yep, tickets are still available.
Great, tickets still available.
Free plug. Brian Mills, free plug.
Yes.
Usually we would charge for that.
Yeah, sure. We're
Yep.
heavy advertising. A lot of people are vying for our advertising space.
Lined up at the door.
Yeah, if you do want to sponsor us, just call us anytime.
We are here.
Happy to advertise.
We are here at the beautiful Faithletic Sports Palace Studios.
Yes, we are.
In downtown Yukon, Oklahoma. Not necessarily downtown, but in Yukon. And we welcome you to, if you're joining us for the first time, because I tagged several people tonight that may have not heard us yet. So if you're joining us for the first time, you wonder, what is Faithletic all about? Well, let's tell you. First of all, Kyle and I have been told by our relatives that we are sports addicts. Can we say that out loud?
Sure.
We've been told
by many people
that love us.
People that love us.
Who
care about us.
Yeah, they do. We are sports addicts. Guilty as charged.
Unashamed.
Nope, not at all.
Yes.
So we thought we both were hosts on a radio station, not just a few months ago, and it's actually one of our friends. It's Crossover Radio. We still have a professional encouragement of both of them. We at some point in time may choose to podcast there, but right now we're just on our own. We want to kind of solo. But it was a Christian radio station. And we did primarily sports, and I just felt like, and Kyle's a youth pastor, and I work with kids, I have a mentoring program, felt like we wanted to do more.
Yes.
And yes, you're going to hear a lot of sports here, but we try to dedicate at least half an hour to something more than that. Is it connected to sports? Probably. Today we're going to talk about the top 5 college walk-ons of all time, and in that you're going to hear just a phenomenal story about, in my opinion, one of the top 5 walk-ons of all time, and we just try to tie that in, Scripture, and we want it. We'll be inspiring, encouraging, and want people to get something from it. We have a number of coaches locally who have listened to our program, and we have plans to bring some of those on our show, either TV or live, or via phone. Via phone or live. We just kind of getting our feet wet yet. This is actually technically our 10th episode. Welcome to our 10. Number 10. I loaded episode 9, A and B, because we got kind of chopped off last Thursday. So this is our 10th episode. Congratulations, man. We made it through 10.
Made it to 10.
They are all, by the way, loaded on our Facebook page, Faithletic, or you can go to our YouTube channel, Faithletic, and you can watch all the episodes.
Yes. You can binge watch it.
You can binge watch it. I would recommend it.
Oh, super encourage it.
Get some popcorn.
Think about what happened 10 weeks ago in the world of sports. We were talking about it.
Yep.
Yes.
We've had some episodes that just primarily dealt with people and faith, and then we've had our good friend Quinn Woolridge on the show, head basketball coach at Bethany High School. They were in a tournament last weekend, but I don't know how they did.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe somebody out there listening could tell me how they're...
Shout out to some of our people watching out there. Barron's watching.
Hey, Barron!
Who else we got?
We got Jeff Pyatt. We've got Colin Hagerman.
Yeah.
Talk to you about that, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's got a proposal for you.
Is that right?
Yeah. So I told him I would talk to you.
Okay.
And but anyway, just getting started on this, special edition, and
Yes.
I've got to start.
We got beef.
I got beef with none other than the most overrated. I shouldn't say that.
Well, here's the deal.
Yeah.
This is perfect timing for the guy that just joined us, Peyton Means. He knows that.
Yes.
We talked about this today.
Okay.
He's expecting almost every episode for me to share my opinions about this guy.
Okay, well, let's...
But you have more of a beef today.
Well, I
You
do.
brought it up to me.
Well, but after you heard it, you agreed.
Oh, yeah.
So
Definitely.
if you haven't had a chance yet, and we were going to try to play it, effort it, so that everyone can hear it, but I bet you everybody's heard it by now, certainly if they watch any sports. Oklahoma's own Mr. Everything, Baker Mayfield, popped off at the mouth again. And he threw his training staff, not once, not twice, but 3 times, not only threw them under the bus, but ran over them and then backed over them again. And
Dang.
what he said was basically, and I wish we could play it, but what he said was it was the training staff's fault for Odell Beckham Jr. not being able to run right, or he's been hurt and it's not been handled correctly. And he said correctly. Wow, I've had too many marbles in my mouth today.
It's okay.
3 times.
Unreal.
And then he comes out, and somebody said today on NFL Live or whatever, one of the NFL shows this morning, like somebody must have got to Baker yesterday after he said that, because he came out on Twitter, I didn't mean it like that.
I'm so sorry.
Oh, you know what? We know you, Baker, and yes, you did.
Baker, you absolutely meant what you said there.
You meant what you said.
Oh man.
Because and you wonder why I think this, okay? And I'm going to kind of let it all out right now, okay? First of all, he ran from the police, okay?
Oh, you're really going back to the beginning
because he thinks that he's better than everybody else.
Right.
He grabbed his you-know-whats on live television because somebody wouldn't shake his hand. He had to pop off and yell and scream and cuss at the other side.
Yes.
And if you talk to people who have been on the sidelines at OU, which I have, he doesn't handle himself very flatteringly on the sidelines.
Yes.
So it's just Baker being Baker.
At this point, yeah.
And so tell me what you think.
Shout out to Becky Benedict,
Hey,
by
Becky.
the way. On Wisconsin.
Hi.
Go Badgers.
Yeah, they won. No,
Yeah.
they didn't win.
They fought valiantly.
They did what? They fought.
Yes.
Are they
okay,
going to the Rose Bowl?
Yes, I believe so.
Yeah, they're going to Rose Bowl.
Yes. Anyway.
So your thoughts on... and by the way, before I go any further...
Yes.
I am, if you're shockingly watching me wear a Kansas City...
Oh, yeah, I was going to say, we're going to have to address this soon.
We'll talk it later, but
yes.
I wanted you to... I did want everybody to see... Huh?
I'm sorry, another guy just popped in.
Oh, yeah. Hey.
Brad.
Yeah,
good
Brad.
friend of mine.
Yeah.
Good friend of mine.
So
yes.
I am wearing a Chiefs hat. Everybody knows me who knows me knows I'm a Cowboys fan.
Yes.
I'll tell you later why. I'm sure everybody's curious, like,
it's
what?
Because you, we'll talk about it in a second for sure.
I have defense.
But the Baker Mayfield situation
Yeah.
is, like, it is crazy that it's almost because, like, you can't say that as a player that
Nope.
just literally he just threw 2 interceptions in that game, no touchdowns, nothing. He did nothing that game. So, like, it is incredible that he's like, he can go out there and he thinks that he can say those words after the game, that he has the right to throw them underneath the he it's just unreal.
Well,
you don't have the right to
there's
say
some
that.
unwritten things that you don't do, or maybe they are written. I don't know
Right.
that you don't do as a player in the NFL. One is obviously you don't gamble on games, and you
Right,
don't
don't do that.
publicly. A coach has the right because he's maybe to throw his players under a bus, but the training staff. And coming from an athletic trainer for almost a decade or over a decade of my life, I'm telling you, and of course we didn't have the media we had today, but
Sure.
you didn't publicly go out and slander your
Yeah.
training staff, the ones that keep you on the field, because I can see it now.
Yeah.
Baker, I think you're fine.
Can you imagine at UCO you being on that staff or something like that?
And me coming out
And
in
they're
a
like,
newspaper
"Man,
article.
What did I do?
Yeah.
Like that's the thing is like we're talking about normal people
Yep.
that try to make a living that aren't making $2 million
Yeah.
or $20 million like you are, Baker, and you're gonna throw these people under the bus that are just trying to do their best.
And I
It's
can
not
tell
the
you
training staff's fault.
there was an instance, and maybe more than one. It's just recalling one right now, maybe two, where there was a player that injured his ankle earlier in the week, and I was the ankle expert. Okay, and I'm just telling you, didn't really think he was hurt. I mean, I'm just telling you,
Right,
I didn't
right.
think he was hurt. I didn't make the final decisions. We had a head athletic trainer. I was a head student athletic trainer, but I told my boss, I said, I think he's good to go. I mean, he's passing on, everything's good. So he goes in one play, he gets tackled, he comes off the field, never plays the rest of the game. And you know why my opinion is why he didn't want to play?
Why? Because you told him
It was cold.
it was too cold.
It was too cold.
Welcome to Oklahoma.
Yeah.
We can't handle the cold.
But I didn't go out and tell,
No,
I
absolutely
didn't
not.
seek out. And of course, got to understand, I'm not a guy that's going to be in front of the microphone. I'm not going to be a guy that's. But I was like, there's a seat. Hey, let me tell you, this is this is an anonymous source here that I don't think so and so can
Right.
is dogging it. I mean, he didn't do that.
It is totally not surprising still how unprofessional
Yeah, but it's
that Baker has shown himself to be.
and you heard what they said earlier on one of the shows on the NFL Network, which you were watching on ESPN.
Yeah,
where they said
yeah.
you've been in the building for 12 months.
Yeah, that's
Does
it.
not give you the right to all of a sudden,
You've been on 40 commercials.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
just
made a bunch of commercials in
Yeah.
the off season. Now all of a sudden you're an expert.
well,
in
that's the
training.
thing is like I think that like just last year everybody was comparing Baker to Patrick Mahomes, and they're not even in the same building. They're not even playing the same sport right now comparatively.
Right.
Now we're comparing Lamar to Patrick, and like it's a weird deal. But Baker has shown himself he doesn't even belong in the same sentence as Deshaun Watson and Patrick Mahomes.
Not right now. He doesn't.
And even other guys out there, these young quarterbacks, Deshaun Watson, Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, who's shown himself to be a pretty decent quarterback.
I agree.
I think Jimmy Garoppolo's better.
He's playing pretty good
I
football
think there's so many young quarterbacks that are actually better
than Baker is.
than
right
Baker is right now.
now. He's reading his own press clippings.
Right.
Well, he's reading his own commercial clippings. I guess he's a real important guy now. And the ones that they put this kind of media mass on has been a lot better because obviously Patrick Mahomes, Aaron Rodgers. You've seen Peyton in not Peyton Means, but Peyton Manning in NFL commercials. This is one of our loyal listeners, by the way, Peyton Means.
Yes.
That wasn't a stab at you, buddy. I know you hadn't been in commercials, but you probably could be. You definitely have the charisma.
Oh yeah, he's got the charisma.
Yeah,
for
he
sure.
does.
Yeah.
But there's the ones that they're pushing. I mean, back when who was the other guys they were pushing really hard? Matt Ryan. I mean, he's been in the Super Bowl.
Right. Yeah.
So, and even Dak Prescott's probably had more success than Baker has in the
I
last
think
couple
you're
of years.
just I understand
And he's been in
that.
a lot of commercials too. So.
Right, but I think I'm just more thinking about these young quarterbacks that have been in the league for a couple of years now, and now you got this, even Drew Lock yesterday, who he comes out of nowhere for the Broncos and shows a great performance.
Yeah.
And I mean, I can't remember just except for that signature game last year where Baker kind of got the first win with the Philly special and all of that. Like that was a big win, but you're still on a team that was sub 500 and not going to be a 500 football team this year by a long shot. When your expectations were supposed to be 10 wins this year. I fully believe that the Browns should have won.
I think some of us picked them like second round AFC championship game.
On paper, at the beginning of the year, I really thought that they would absolutely make the playoffs with the addition of Odell Beckham Jr.
Yep.
They have a solid defense, but the offense hasn't got it going.
But they're not coached well either.
No, they are not coached well. We'll give you that, but that still doesn't make you have the right to say our training staff
has handled it
poorly.
wrong. Yeah.
No, absolutely not.
I'd be curious. I mean, we saw Peyton on there earlier. I don't know. Some of these are OU fans. Certainly Jeff isn't. I don't know about Colin. I'm just looking at some of our listeners right now. If you've got an opinion on this, I mean, do you think this is – do you agree with this with Baker? I mean, do you think he's justified in throwing his training staff under the bus? I mean, I don't know. But anyway, we can get off the subject. But
Peyton says Baker is digging himself into a bigger hole every day.
Yep.
And his lack of success is not covering up his immature behavior anymore.
Yep.
Actually, that's a really good
statement
right there.
Good feedback.
Because when, this kind of fun and games kind of stuff where you're dancing and doing all the commercials and that has to be somehow the success has to overwhelm the antics a little bit.
I bet the commercials back off again this year. This year.
Think about that though. Like you were able to look away at guys like Randy Moss and Terrell Owens because they had Hall of Fame careers.
They were good.
And
then Baker may be good. He just hadn't really proved a lot yet.
Do you think he'll ever be good though?
I don't know. I mean, I said when he came out that I didn't think he would be. I think he was just maybe a little more head on his shoulders version of Johnny Manziel.
Well, my thought was even just watching the game, and it wasn't. I don't think the attitudes are even there. Like Baker is a much better. He's a person that's able to handle himself much better than Johnny Manziel.
That's why I said head on his shoulders.
Yeah, but as a quarterback, like Baker, I remember in college that his first instinct was to just run backwards for a little bit.
Yeah.
He'd run, he would, in any sign of trouble, he'd run backwards and then heave it as hard as he could. So, to me, Baker was never going to be that quarterback because he didn't have, I don't think he has great instincts.
Doesn't look like it.
So, just my opinion.
He's one of those kind of players that can make things happen, but, it's a different game in the NFL. People are smarter. People are faster. I mean, the defense is a whole lot faster.
Brad says that Baker is incredibly overrated.
Yeah.
He's fine, but he is middle of the road as QB.
Hey,
so welcome Toby, by the way.
Hey, Toby, let us know if you're available for a phone call. I'd like to get your input on the Texas Bowl. Are you available for 10 minutes to visit with us? Because we can make the call and patch you in if you're up for it. So let me know.
He is a little under the weather though, so maybe not today. But he'll let it. Yeah, maybe
we need to get him on in next week or so.
Yeah, maybe
for the
get
bowl
it
game
next week, and we can.
Hope you get to feeling better, Toby.
Toby's the sickness is going around the church.
Yep.
Actually, my friend Brad, that's listening on his podcast, he told me to drink a lot of grape juice. So via his podcast, drinking a lot of grape juice. Grape juice. Yes.
Okay, so
Adam Kosh, you are here. Hey, we got a lot of people out there tonight. People are.
Hey. They're obviously here to listen to you. They're not here to listen to me. So
I don't know.
I mean to bow out. I'm okay with, by the way.
Sick. He says that. So
yeah. Okay. Well, we'll catch you.
Yes.
But so anyway, staying on the NFL, and we're going to do, since there's really no college football. Actually, we were going to pick Army Navy, which we can still do, I guess, is next week. So we'll put it on next week's.
Sure.
And then we're going to pick 8 games. Let's say 7 games NFL, and then 1 the Army Navy game.
Sure. Right. Yeah.
Later on in our broadcast, and just to let the cat out of the bag, Kyle and I are now dead even. We're in a dead heat on our predictions.
We are
going into however many weeks this thing goes. So
pretty incredible.
Yep.
Also, want to talk a little bit about the Chiefs game yesterday. I first of all am so thrilled that the Chiefs pulled it out yesterday.
Yes.
Their defense is what kept them in the game, or just an inept Patriots offense.
Yeah, some of that was the offense.
It is so funny because I am very much a fan of looking at Chiefs Reddit, which is just me staying linked to the old past of message boards back in the mid-2000s, where I was on every message board ever. Thank goodness for Reddit. But just reading kind of some of the Patriots stuff that is on their Reddit that was actually posted on Chiefs Reddit is super rich.
Really?
Yes, because they are complaining about the referees during yesterday's game. They are feeling...
Well, they did get kind of robbed on that one touchdown.
Oh, yeah, I agree. But that's also like Bill Belichick, I don't know what the heck he was thinking, decides to throw two just Andy Reid-ish red flags or challenge flags.
Challenge flags.
Yeah,
he lost the ball.
Then it was like, don't challenge the spot of the ball in the first quarter. Probably a bad idea for the first half. Like, you don't need to do that. There's definitely in a game like that with the Chiefs, like, you are absolutely in for a long haul here. If anything, the last two games last year showed that you're going to need to save those challenges. And two, the Stephon Gilmore scoop and
I didn't see that one.
So they allegedly Travis Kelce fumbled, and he was they ruled that Stephon Gilmore didn't have a clear path to the touchdown when he was actually picked it up and scooped and scored.
Okay.
I totally agree with the refs because the players did obviously think it was whistle dead, but at the same time, they still had three people around him that if the play was really live, they thought they would have picked him up and tackled him. So all of that being said, these are pretty just minor things.
Shouldn't have been. He's definitely not listening to his booth, because don't they have somebody dedicated for reviewing those?
They should, yeah, they should.
And
absolutely.
They say, "Hey, do it or don't do it." So
yeah.
Somebody gave some bad advice.
I will tell you, regardless of that, it felt really good for the Chiefs to go into Foxborough. The first quarterback under 25 to ever win at Foxborough is Patrick Mahomes in the Tom Brady, Bill Belichick era.
Man, you're almost pulling stuff out like a bookie would be.
Hey. I just
First quarterback under 25 that wears boxer briefs while he's playing quarterback.
Take it to the bank.
First guy that did a commercial for State Farm to ever go in and win in Foxborough.
I'm sure Aaron Rodgers has, right?
I don't know. He might not have. Yeah. There's not too many quarterbacks that ever gone in there and won.
No, and so that was a pretty rare thing. I still believe I'm in the camp that I think that the Patriots are falling down a little bit.
There's no doubt.
Yeah,
there's no doubt.
That offense is so out of sync. So, I don't think that the Patriots actually they might not even get that first round bye. In fact,
if they lost to the Bills a couple weeks ago, or do they still play? I can't remember if they're playing the Bills, because Bills had. No, that's not. Oh, they play. That's right, they do. They could actually take over that spot if they beat the Patriots next Sunday. Not this Sunday coming up, but next Sunday. Because they're 9-4, 10-3. I'll bet you they take that spot from. You know what?
How about this stat from my friend Brad? First time that Brady and Edelman played together in Foxborough and lost.
Wow.
42-1.
Whoa.
So, first of all, also going back to a little bit about the referees, Casey was flagged for 125 yards in that game yesterday.
Well, the NFL tried to help the Patriots.
Yes, they did. And there was a phantom illegal blocking the back that wasn't
I
called.
saw that one.
That one was pretty rough.
Yeah, I saw
So
that
if
one.
you're going with officiating, like I hate that. I will always hate that argument because you better take care of business on the field.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, never mind the fact that they still had the chance to win.
Yeah.
So don't give me that. Like, it's not like the Saints where it was literally that was the direct outcome of the game, which is very rare to me. Other than that, take care of your business on the field. So, pretty proud of my Chiefs. Anything else in the NFL that you saw yesterday that was
you know what I did yesterday?
Noteworthy.
I pretty much I saw a little bit of the Chiefs Pats. I turned off the 49ers Saints because I knew the Saints or the 49ers were going to come back and win it, so I turned it off because I wanted the Saints to win. Yeah. So I basically boycotted NFL yesterday except for maybe 20 minutes of watching football.
That was it.
That was it.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm all right.
Feverish?
Yeah, I mean, look.
I'm still
So you
worried.
want to know what's going on
No,
there?
I'm still worried about you, Dan.
Why?
I'm still worried that your Cowboys fandom. Yeah, I mean, look at this. You got a pillow over here in the Sports Palace studios that, like, it feels all lonely now.
Well, I got like 12 Dallas Cowboy hats
around. There's a lot of Cowboy things.
There's a lot of Cowboy stuff here in the studio.
You can't burn it yet.
I'm not burning anything.
I know, but
I got. You know what? We might take a pause here in a minute, and I'll show you. If you look up there on the shelf in the corner, that's Roger Staubach, by the way.
Yes, it is.
It is like a
action figure,
8-inch, maybe 12-inch.
That thing's pretty.
It is. My mother gave that to me for Christmas.
Good radio, right there.
Yeah.
So, but tell us how are you? Just go on your little Cowboys.
Okay. So
rant.
So I'm gonna go back to. I remember Pastor Brian yesterday when I was 4.
Yeah, let's start.
So I'm going to back up a little bit. So back when I was just becoming a football fan, obviously I love the Dallas Cowboys. You know, Don Meredith. I didn't really know that much about Roger Staubach yet because he hadn't really played yet, but I knew he was on the team. I actually pulled for the Kansas City Chiefs in this Super Bowl 4. Against the Minnesota Vikings, Lenny Dawson. So much so that for Christmas the next year, I asked for a Kansas City Chief football helmet.
So what you're telling me is that there's been just a little soft spot for the Chiefs.
For the Chiefs. Okay.
Sure, I get it.
And one of our producers at our previous radio station, the Major, was giving me a really hard time about that like a couple of weeks into our show last year. I was talking about being a Chiefs fan. So anyway, I asked Kyle tonight to bring one of his Chiefs hats. Says any fan's got to have more than one hat.
Oh yeah, I have. How
many Chiefs hats?
Oh, I don't even know.
Yeah, same with me.
I have some special ones that I'll have to tell you the story.
Yeah.
It's a name-dropping story, but one of my hats that I will treasure forever that's in a special spot.
Yep. It doesn't get worn anymore, right?
No.
Yeah. So, anyway, I'm just, I'm having a backup plan. I'm tired of pulling for a team that loses, and I'm jumping. I'm still a Cowboys fan. Trust me, if for some unforeseen reason of divine intervention and the Cowboys end up going to the Super Bowl, I will be wearing a Cowboys hat, not a Chiefs hat, and even if they're playing each other. But we both know that's not going to happen. But
but that's my Super Bowl pick.
You did pick that,
yes.
And I'd tell you going in, Cowboys have no shot. I mean, Andy Reid against Jason Garrett. I mean, whatever. But I just need a backup plan because I'm tired of. Now I will warn you, Kyle.
Yes.
This is probably a death blow for your Chiefs.
Wait, get the hat off then.
Because I don't have much luck.
Take that hat off.
I can pick teams. I can't pull for the right team.
My friend Brad said, this guy's more of a fair weather fan than you, Cook.
No, I'm not fair weather. Trust me. I'm not.
No, you are
you only know 2 teams that I've really talked about since you've known me, Cowboys and Cowboys.
Oh, yeah.
That's it.
That's it.
Now, I talk about coaches I really like, and
let's just talk about the fact your heart hurt. Like, you got to be hurting a little bit right now.
Why?
Because
they're
this
bad?
Cowboys team.
They're still first place.
I understand.
And they're going to be 2 games ahead after tonight because the Eagles are losing to the Giants.
It's unreal.
They could lose out. Both teams lose out. Well, they can't both lose out because they play each other. But the Eagles literally could lose every game but the Cowboys, and Dallas could win every game but the Eagles, and they'd still win the division at 8-8.
Yeah. Is there any way at this point? That Jason Garrett keeps his job?
Only if he wins the Super Bowl.
So yeah.
And he might be able to hang on to it if he makes it to the NFC Championship game, but I don't foresee the team's giving up on him.
Let me ask this: could you foresee them like that Arizona Cardinals team with Kurt Warner on it? That I believe they had a losing record.
No.
Or it was 9-7, or they were 9-7.
I think. Yeah.
The last team in.
Yeah.
Nope. They looked so just hot and cold.
Yeah.
In the regular season, and then caught fire because of the talent that they had on that squad.
They had a lot of talent. Larry Fitzgerald, Kurt Warner, obviously.
Yes.
I mean, well, and Kurt Warner is one of the smartest quarterbacks to ever play in the NFL.
Right.
So they had that, which they don't have in Dallas right now.
Sure, but they have talent. Like
they do have the talent. I see what you're saying.
Yeah, I'm just saying. Okay, somebody's got to say, "Hey, let's get our heads out of our rears."
Yeah,
here. We need to start playing football.
You can't if your coach doesn't put you in a position to do it.
Everybody goes through these hot and cold
agree.
streaks in the NFL, and so what if they are the ones that
maybe? I'm not going to say it's impossible. I'm just saying based on the track record and who you got as coach, I just don't see it.
Listen,
happening
from the beginning of the year said Chiefs Cowboys in the Super Bowl,
and you're sticking to it.
I'm still sticking to it.
Yeah, well,
everybody
has a chance.
I believe it because
everybody has a chance.
That Giant team, that 49er team, is pretty incredible.
They're good, and they. I mean, just look at who it is. I mean, look. Okay, so let's just take a quick look at that. Okay. So, 49ers win the West, Cowboys win the East, Packers win the North, and the Saints win the South. Okay, so Dallas is going to get a bye or not a bye. They're going to get home field because they won their division, and probably the Packers maybe get the other. Could be the Saints. Either way, Dallas is either going to play the Packers, the Vikings, the Seahawks. Do you see them beating any of those 3 teams?
No.
They're in Dallas.
No.
They're in Dallas.
Sure.
I could tell. Oh, there it is right there. Shows you right there. So if
Cowboys,
they started today, they'd play the Seahawks. If it started today.
This is the ugliest thing I've ever seen.
6-7.
6-7.
And see, the Rams still have a shot, the Bears still have a shot, and the Eagles still have a shot.
Which, what?
Yeah, Bears are still in it.
I know the Bears are still in it. It's just unreal.
But
to me. But
the Vikings they can beat. That's probably it.
How top-heavy that NFC, though, is. Yeah. Like, I don't know. I like to think that,
there's 4 of those teams that could be in the Super Bowl.
I agree.
Seahawks, and they're Seahawks,
yes,
49ers, Saints, Packers. That's it.
Yeah.
None of those other teams.
But
Vikings won't be in there. Bears won't be in there.
None of those.
Cowboys
I'd be surprised. I'd be surprised if they made a run for it.
You think any of those teams could make it in? Any of those?
Oh yeah, I think so.
Any of those 8 teams?
Any of those?
So 8 there, they still have a shot.
Yeah, I still think 4 out of those are like your strong picks that'll make it.
Because they have the 6 plus the 3. They have the 6 that are in now at the end of the day.
I don't think the Vikings really have a chance.
But they're going to make the playoffs.
Yeah, they're going to make it, but I don't think that they're a strong Super Bowl contender. And that's
Bears aren't.
I could be wrong.
Bears aren't.
Nope.
Eagles aren't.
Nope.
Cowboys aren't.
No.
Not really. But
not really, but I'm just saying you never know.
Story and sticking
just
to
because of the talent that they have. So, Peyton says, imagine being the 5 seed and getting to play the Cowboys.
I'd be jumping for joy.
Yes.
We get to go play the Cowboys, the worst coach team in the NFL.
Oh, yeah.
Just keep it close. You know what? Let them score the first touchdown, and then they'll roll over after that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because that's what they've done like their last 3 games.
Oh man! So
We were sitting here watching last
Yeah.
Thursday night. And I said, "Don't worry about it. They've done this last 2 games.
I'm so sorry, Dan.
It's okay.
No, but I think I would be furious as a Cowboys fan.
I'm not happy.
Like,
I'll tell you what, I will not be happy is if unless they make it to the Super Bowl, and even if they did, I want Garrett gone because this is what's happened over the last 10 years. He does just enough to keep his job, and that's all he can do is all he can do, and that's all he can do. And he's a first-round win playoff guy. That's it. He gets out-coached. His team doesn't perform to the best of their ability, and he thinks that he's thrown his team under the bus every loss they've had. You know why he's thrown them under the bus? If we just execute, we win. Well, that's on the players. He's not blaming the coaches. He's blaming the players because they don't execute.
Well, and the thing is, for me, it's like, okay, you got to think that you have a guy like Andy Reid. Andy Reid is well known for his offense.
Yep.
Like that's an Andy Reid coached offense.
Yeah.
That's a Kyle. Even the young guys with Sean McVay and Kyle Shanahan.
Mm-hmm.
That's a Kyle Shanahan run offense. Like they are in the middle of an identity crisis as long as Jason Garrett is their head coach there. And Jerry Slayton to the end zone again.
And now it's going to be 17-3.
Oh my gosh. This
Cowboys, pack it up. You're going to the playoffs.
If you're watching the game while you're watching us, which
Yeah.
always we recommend, highly recommend. Eli
He's on fire.
He's having so much fun.
He's on fire.
Like Eli's been on the bench. Like I could take.
I think you know what's going on is I think Peyton's actually in Eli's is in his uniform.
Ear?
He's in his uniform. It's Peyton out there. It's not Eli.
Sure, that's great. No, but to wrap it up,
Yeah.
I think that as far as on the NFL side of
And the Cowboys.
yesterday goes, Lamar Jackson is still incredible.
Yeah.
He should far and away win the MVP.
Should.
Which even though I was still thankful, Patrick Mahomes banged up all year, so good still. The fact that he has only thrown 3 interceptions on the year is still astounding to me. So, I don't know. He's incredible, but I am okay with passing the torch to Lamar Jackson this year.
Well, I maintain all along it's incredible. He's been hard to stop. But these defensive coaches are too smart to let this thing keep going. Somebody's going to figure out how to stop it. I just have a feeling. I don't know if it's going to be this year or not, but they might. They may very well win the Super Bowl, but they're definitely got the best offense in the league. And John Harbaugh is a very smart coach, very smart.
Yes, absolutely.
So anyway, NFL. We'll come back here before we go to our second segment. And we'll do our, let's just go ahead and do our predictions.
Yeah, sure, why not?
Let's get them out of the way while we're fresh.
So shout out to Daniel Dick, one of our camp guys.
Yeah.
Called him Deeds back in the day. Welcome to the show.
Yeah, absolutely. Tell your friends about us.
Yeah, absolutely.
Tell your friends and
Dennis Burkle, my uncle-in-law.
Uncle-in-law.
But also a big Chiefs fan, so he says he loves the show. So.
Oh, thank you.
Yes,
we appreciate you.
Fans out there. We love that. We love the fans.
Share us.
Please
share us. And
this is more fun when you guys jump in and share your opinions.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
And plus your name will get mentioned.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. So we already predicted our Army-Navy game. You have any changes there? We both went with Navy. You're still on Navy side on that?
Yeah, sure. I think top 25 team.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So let's. I've got 7 NFL games here. Let's start with. Some of these games don't have any playoff implications, but they're interesting. They make it tougher on who to pick.
I am game.
Okay, so Tampa Bay at Detroit.
This is one of those games.
Yeah, that's one of those. I had to preface it.
I got to go with Tampa Bay on that one.
Tampa Bay. I don't know. Something about the Lions at home it's kind of it's scary there. Somehow they just. So I'm gonna go with the Lions. I'm gonna throw a curve out there at you a little bit. Okay, So here's another one of those.
Yeah.
Dolphins at the Giants. Giants and Dolphins are playing pretty well right now.
If Eli is playing again, for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
The Giants.
You going for the Giants?
I will go Giants.
You know, the Dolphins kind of got jacked around a little bit. Their coach certainly had a fit. Did you see that yesterday? He definitely was upset. He was mad. And the media tried as all they could to get him to comment. And he goes, I'm going to talk about the officiating. And he was about to, eyeballs about to pop
Because
out.
their coaches,
I can't think of his name
yeah,
either.
me either. I was thinking
But he was upset.
No.
He was mad. He was like Nick Saban mad.
Where he's just red?
Oh, yeah.
He's just red.
Yeah, he was Red Ross.
Red. Oh, that's a good reference.
Yeah, Red Ross. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You
My
know-
sandwich?
That is, if those of you who are not Friends fans,
Yes.
Red Ross is like the Mad Ross where he turns red and
Yes.
he has to convince the whole show of who Red Ross is, and then at the end he gets mad and he goes, "Oh, Red Ross!"
Yeah.
Anyway, both him, Nick Saban, and the coach of the Dolphins was Red Ross's last weekend. So you're going with the Giants?
I will go.
I think I will too. Although the Dolphins are they're playing pretty good football right now.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting who ends up with that last pick.
Okay, here's another one that doesn't have playoff implications. Jets at Cleveland, and the Baker Mayfield's training staff is on playing this game.
Browns are playing who again?
Browns are playing the Jets. Sam Darnold.
Doing this game. This thing. I'll go with the Jets. Because I don't want anything to do with the Browns. Right now.
You know, you're going to take the Jets. I'm going to take the... I don't know. I'm going to take the Browns. As much as I hate to, I'm going to take them.
You're not going to feel good about that.
I'm not. I mean,
You're not going to feel good about that at all.
Okay, here's one. Texans at Tennessee. Tennessee pulled an upset last week. Yeah.
I am going to go Texans, but I think they actually end up splitting because they play 2 more times, which is weird in their scheduling. But I'm going to go Texans this first round.
Okay. They play again before the season's over with?
Yes, they play twice.
Wow.
Yep.
Well, I'm going to go Texans, too.
Okay.
All right. So, the Bears, the oldest rival in football, against the Packers.
The Packers.
The Green Bay Packers.
Well, so I am going to go with the Packers.
Yeah, and they're at home, too. I think I agree with you.
I regret it.
But you're going against your Bears.
I hate them.
You're going against your Bears.
But I think that the Bears are going to lose.
All right. So, Denver at the Chiefs.
Kansas City.
Yeah.
They'll win. They're not They can't lose at Arrowhead again.
Okay.
So we have
they won a game this year at Arrowhead?
They've won a few. Yes. So we got Lynn, Diane, or we have Lynn Hazelbaker, Diane Lewin, and Eric Warfel joining us.
What?
Right now. Thank y'all.
What?
For listening.
Mike Barber's on there,
to
too.
this. Man.
Mike Barber is...
I only see my friends on my Facebook, which is weird. So thanks, Mike.
He probably doesn't like us shouting out to him, but he's one of the most exciting powerlifters I ever saw in my 30-something years. He actually made a guest appearance at our training center, not this past Saturday, but Saturday before last. He was in town visiting his mom. He's a veteran, Air Force vet, retired now.
Very cool.
Yeah, great lifter.
My
great
friend
lifter.
Eric, big Bears fan.
Oh, yeah.
Grew up with him in Chicago, so he's been loathing his kicking game for the past 2 years. So
awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thanks for joining us too, everybody. We appreciate you. Spread it around,
really do.
share
your friends.
Yep. Tell them it's usually Thursday nights at 8:00, but this is a special edition because we both have commitments on Thursday, so we're doing a special
We didn't
show.
want to leave you in the dust.
No, we did not. All right, the last game to pick. The Los Angeles Rams against the Dallas Cowboys.
You're not gonna believe this.
You're gonna pick Cowboys
I'm
again.
picking the Cowboys.
Oh, you lost your mind. I'm going with the Rams.
Because you know that if I say Rams and they win, you're gonna be happy either way. That you're hedging your bet.
I'm just saying anything that gets Jason Garrett one step out the door is a joyous occasion.
So, okay, let's say this.
I'm probably not going to be happy if he wins.
Say Cowboys somehow lose next week.
Somehow. Okay, go ahead. Somehow you act like it's going to be a...
Do they fire Jason Garrett next week?
Oh, no, because Jerry said he wouldn't do that.
Okay.
And Jerry usually sticks pretty close to what he says he's going to do.
Sure.
So he made the comment, I think I may have pointed this out before, when he fired Wade Phillips in the middle of the 2010 season, he would never do that again.
Yeah, I think he said that last week, and I was like, I don't believe it because he's Jerry Jones.
But here's the thing. If the Eagles lose tonight, okay,
they're still
they're still in it. So as long as he believes that they have a shot at the playoffs, the minute that they're out mathematically, then he might make the move. But that'd only be one game left. What's the point there?
Sure.
Unless you got your eye on somebody.
I think he has to win 2 playoff games.
Well, that puts him in an NFC Championship game.
That's what I'm saying, though.
Yeah.
I think that's the only way that he stays in Dallas at this point.
I agree with you, and it might take more than that. But I kind of feel like he's looking for an excuse to keep him.
Yeah.
Because there's just not too many people out there that want to work for a guy that does all the coaching for you.
Right.
Coach Jones. All right. So we probably spent a little more time on that, but it was good content.
Absolutely.
My gosh.
Absolutely.
Holy cow.
Dennis says that Tannehill is on fire.
For the
and I would go with his high for the Titans.
For the Titans.
Yeah. Go with the hot hand. Stay in the flames.
Yeah.
I don't disagree with that because Tannehill, we never got to see his true talent in Miami, in my opinion, because you're with the Dolphins. That's where most talent goes to die. That and the Browns. And so Tannehill, he's been playing great the past 3 or 4 weeks for the Titans and has given a new life to them. So I wouldn't be surprised though if they win. Peyton Mean says Cowboys are not winning 2 playoff games on this planet or any planet.
Well, I would tend to agree with you, Peyton.
Wow, Peyton.
I would
come in hot, Peyton Means. Oh, man.
You're just going off the percentages because Jason Garrett's never won 2 in his life in the playoffs, so why would it be any different? So, in the way they're playing. So, anyway, okay, that wraps up our NFL part. We haven't talked about the bowl games yet, so we need to get to that. Well, first of all, let's talk about the 4 teams that were selected.
Yes, let's do that.
So we've got the LSU Tigers playing Oklahoma Sooners at the Peach Bowl in Atlanta, Chick-fil-A Bowl.
Yes.
And then the Ohio State Buckeyes playing the Clemson Tigers.
Yes.
And where's that one being played?
Don't remember.
We're gonna pull it up.
Tell us if you know.
I don't know. But if anybody's out there who can get it faster than I can, then knock yourself out.
Yeah, we don't have our computers running tonight. We just got
phones,
our old memories, and our old phones, and
NCAA football.
Don't know where that's happening, but okay. So let's first of all, do you think the committee got it right?
I don't think they had any choice. Who else you gonna pick?
No.
I mean, I said it all along. OU would luck into it. I said that when they lost against Kansas State. They'll figure out, everybody. It'll all line up for them. It's the Fiesta Bowl. It all lines up for them, and it does, and it will. And now the question is it going to be any different than what you've done in your last 4 playoff appearances, or 3, however it is, 3 playoff appearances? So they have terrible defense. They play tough for a while, but they get worn down because the talent pool is thicker and deeper, and the defense just falls apart.
I think, and I'm not just saying this because I am a biased,
anti-OU
fan. I think this is the worst out of the past 3 teams that has made the playoffs.
The worst of the OU teams?
Yes.
The best defense, though.
Is it that great, though?
Oh, I don't know if it's that great. It's better than the other 3.
Sure, but it's also the least dynamic offense out of the last 3, for sure. So I surely am saying that the Sooners are going to get absolutely throttled by the LSU Tigers. Because I watched that game and I was like, I was already impressed with LSU to begin with, but Jason Burrows, man, is just, he's incredible.
He's a good player.
So
what did they say about him? He's a more talented version of in college than Tom Brady.
Yeah,
I think that's what I heard.
And the way that he stays in the pocket, he's got pocket presence. He's got a good deep ball. Like he's pretty incredible. So
he's pretty cocky too.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's. I like him though. I don't like LSU. I don't like Ed.
Love Eddie. I love Coach Joe.
I don't.
Love Coach Joe.
But I do like Joe Burrow. I do.
Yeah.
So all right. So
I said Joe. I did say Jason Burrows.
Joby. So in the other matchup, which is probably the most interesting, is Clemson and Ohio State. How do you see that one coming out?
Okay, so you have to talk about Clemson for just a second.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they have really taken care of business all year long.
Mm-hmm.
You would hope that in every game that they play, that they would absolutely rout everybody in the ACC, and we saw that again in the conference championship game.
Yes,
absolutely taking it to the woodshed with Virginia. So this Clemson team, here's the hard thing is, like, what do you have them to measure to? Like, there's no good yardstick because we haven't seen it, who they really have played to say how good they are. But I'm not.
We know they're well coached.
We know that they're well coached.
Yeah.
And so that being said, I think Clemson actually will beat Ohio State because Dabo's done this so many times.
He's pretty good in the playoffs.
He's so good. And that's not to take it away from the coaching at Ohio State. Like,
yeah.
But to me, like, I got to take Clemson.
I'm going to reserve my predictions until we have a prediction show.
I think so too.
And you may change your mind, but I want us to do some more research.
I think so. I think we need to too because of course they like the pass rush for Ohio State. Watching them all year has been dynamic and pretty incredible. So hard to say. Obviously, the committee got it right. They didn't have any.
Who you gonna put in there?
Utah loses. You could say, even with a two-loss Georgia team, are they better than Oklahoma? They don't deserve it, obviously. So
let me ask you this, and I know this is, is ifs and buts and candies and nuts, but let's say Wisconsin would have beaten Ohio State. Would OU still have been able to?
I'm in the opinion, and me and I had this conversation with my dad, who is also a Big Ten guy like myself.
Bias.
We both think that Wisconsin's better than OU.
But would they put them ahead of, because Ohio State probably deservingly shouldn't have been bumped out. But they didn't win so do you take Ohio State and Wisconsin in that case? Because somebody's getting pushed out.
I think if that would have happened, Ohio State still would have made it.
And OU would have been bumped out.
Okay, and so that's my other rant that I would go on, is I looked at that committee and was just kind of floored with, like,
all Big Ten,
how much personal bias could be within that committee. You have a Wisconsin guy, you have an Iowa guy, you have OU, Oregon, all of that.
Stiglion on that?
What's that?
Stiglion in that?
I can't remember.
Not Stiglion. Who's the? Yeah, Stiglion's still. Is he still offensive? Is he still AD? Joe Stiglion?
I don't know.
You haven't heard anything of him in the last year or so.
I think so, but to me, it irks me how much personal bias that could be on that committee.
Well, and on top of that, it just proves my point that it's all about blue blood. So even somebody else said it the other day, like if Minnesota wins the Big Ten, somebody was even talking about that. If they won the Big Ten with one loss, they wouldn't have gotten in because they're not blue blood enough. And he actually said that. It's like, how's that got anything to do with this?
It just kind of it takes away from me.
Yeah, it does.
A lot. It like the personal bias, like with the pro football playoff.
Yeah.
No personal
No,
bias.
it's who. Yeah. Well, there isn't, but sometimes I think the officiating, kind of manipulates how it ends up. But
that.
yeah.
But still, at the end of the day, you have to win football games.
Yeah.
And now I know you're talking about a 5-game difference.
Yeah.
But like, it's just so simple to me. Like, everything should be. I'll bang the drum until they change it again. Go back to a computer system. Take into account your coaches' polls, your USA Today polls.
Yeah.
Take those in so there is some
Strength of schedule should be
but
accounted
strength
for.
of schedule has to be talked about.
Yeah.
That also means that's not just because Power 5 obviously it has a certain amount of bias and within
Certain amount.
Yeah, that's what you're.
There's a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because there are the Memphises of this world that could measure up, and we don't know that anymore.
For sure.
The Boise States of this world. This Boise State team was incredible this year, but we don't talk about them anymore because it's irrelevant.
They were ranked 19th.
Yeah,
19th at 12-1.
Yeah.
I mean, that's great.
That's exactly my point. Is that we 10 years ago were talking about Boise State and how great they were, and I made that point just this Thursday. But how can you say we can't do this anymore? We can't measure it up because we're so focused on these Power 5 conferences.
Or they're trying to get the best matchup, gets the best ratings, and sells the most amount of advertising dollars. That's plain and simple.
I'm done with it.
Yeah.
Like
it's pretty frustrating.
And that's why, to me, I will always, and I'm saying this in college football country, I will always prefer the NFL over college football because of that reason. Like, until it's fixed anyway.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Maybe.
I like pro football quite a bit.
Yeah, you do. All right, so we're going to have a special show that will probably be just dedicated to the we may separate it because some of the bowl games are going to play early. So we'll have a bowl games prediction show, and then we'll talk about the college football playoffs and analyze a little bit more later down the line. We'll probably do the show before they start the playoffs. Okay, but let's look at some of the other matchups that are going on. And I don't want to predict these games. I just want to kind of get your thoughts on the matchup. One that intrigues me is, one team that was considered to be one of these mid-majors, I guess you could call them.
Right.
SMU against FAU, Florida Atlantic. That one's in the
I gotta go with
Bowl.
Yes.
That's basically a whole game. That was a home game for them, basically.
Sure.
That is that's played on the 21st. There isn't anything coming up next week.
Yeah. You know what? First, hold on. Dennis asked me, hey, talk about an 18 playoff. I would highly recommend going back to our last week on Thursday.
Yeah.
Me talking about the 12 team.
Yeah.
12 team.
I'd rather have 16, but.
Yeah. I'm on team 12 team. But that way it's not super it could get watered down when we're talking about 15 teams.
Could.
So I'm like, give me 12.
But I still think the reason I don't like the 12 is because it still doesn't open it up for teams like Boise.
Sure.
Because right now, if you went off that, Boise wouldn't get in.
Right, but again, that's where you have to mix in. That's the poll that the college football playoff came with. That's the human, just the 8 old guys in a room.
Yeah.
Talking about, and one lady, sorry. Didn't mean that.
This is not a boys club.
I'm not frustrated. Yeah. We added one lady to the mix to talk about it.
All right, and speaking of Boise State, they play in the Las Vegas Bowl against Washington. So 12-1 versus 7-5.
Ooh, when is that game?
That is on the 21st. That's a week from Saturday.
Okay.
So those two games I just mentioned, actually there's going to be 4 games played on the 21st. They will be 5 games. Central Michigan at San Diego State, Liberty at Georgia Southern, the FBC Mortgage Cure Bowl. That's Liberty against Georgia Southern, and then SMU against Florida Atlantic. And then also on the 21st is Florida International against Arkansas State in the Camellia Bowl. I don't even know where that one's at.
You know what? I had another just thought as you're reading these bowls off. Because of the way that it's set up right now, because it's so human involved, you're never going to be able to build your program as a mid-major anymore because you're not a blue blood.
I agree.
You're not going to be able to go to the Fiesta Bowl or anything like that.
Yeah.
So, to me, it's just egregious at this point until
it is. It needs to be fixed.
Yes. Yeah.
But there's too much money involved in the other way, so. And then also on the 21st, which will be the last of the 21st games, it's Appalachian State against University of Alabama Birmingham in the New Orleans Bowl.
Nice.
And then, let me see, I'm just not going to hit every one of them because it's too much to talk about right now.
Mike Benson, go Jets, go Yankees. Glad you're listening.
Jets and Yankees.
Is it Jets and Yankees?
That's an odd combination. It's usually Jets and
It's
Mets.
usually Jets,
or
Mets.
Giants and Yankees.
Yep,
Yeah.
Giants and Yankees.
Yeah.
He's a weirdo.
Let me see if there's any. Okay, so your Iowa Hawkeyes are playing in the San Diego Bowl against USC.
I wish that I could go to sunny San Diego, though, to watch that game.
Iowa's a 10-point favorite. 10 points.
Yeah, they should win that game. They are so good on defense.
Air Force takes on the Fighting Mike Leaches in the Cheez-It Bowl.
The Cheez-It Bowl?
Cheez-It. I don't know where that one's at either. And then here goes the I don't know what they're calling it, but the one at large to the New Year's Day 6 or whatever. Memphis plays Penn State at the Cotton Bowl in Dallas. Is anybody going to show up for that game? I guess it's close enough for Memphis fans to travel to, but that just doesn't. That doesn't look like Dallas is going to be real fired up about that.
Probably not. Probably.
I mean, why? I don't know. I mean,
oh man.
Why? I mean, why did Memphis get a nod over? Because Boise won their conference. I don't know. Why did they get the nod on that? I wonder.
I don't know.
Let's see. Maybe because Memphis is 17th and Boise's 19th. I don't know.
Who knows?
I think a matchup would have been better with Boise, but who knows?
Yeah.
How about the Camping World Bowl? This is Notre Dame, and this is when I thought Oklahoma State probably should have played it.
Did, actually.
Yeah, Iowa State against, which would have been a better matchup for Oklahoma State, but we'll get to them here in a second. But anyway, Notre Dame and Iowa State. And, of course, we've already talked about and then, of course, Oklahoma State playing Texas A&M in the Texas Bowl in Houston.
You going to go?
No, I'm not. No, we'll be so busy on that day, I won't be able to see straight.
Sure.
And then the following day is the first round of the playoff. We'll talk about that. That's why I want to get Toby on maybe next week. And talk
we got
about,
time. So.
To discuss what his thoughts are on that matchup. Another couple of Louisiana Tech against Miami, Florida, Hawaii against BYU. Your 2017 national champion, Central Florida against Marshall. That's basically rounds it out. I mean, there's some other games in there. I think we'll pick every game. I think I'd like to just see how we end up.
Hey, you know what we could?
Oh, Georgia playing Baylor in the Sugar Bowl.
Ideal alert. We will start a Faithletic. If you want to go on ESPN.
Oh yeah, we could.
And try to beat us.
Yeah,
we'll see if you can beat us.
So we'll have a unified picking.
Yes.
If you guys want to sign up, you need to do it before.
Get an ESPN account.
Yeah,
most people do.
And then
if you have a Disney Plus account, you also have.
You need to do it before the first game is played, which would be the 20th. So a week from Friday. You need to sign up to take on the Faithletic team. That's what we'll call it.
Yes.
We'll create a whole. We can do that. We can create our own little thing, right?
Or
private.
We could do that, or they could say you could just beat Dan or Kyle, our own picks. So.
But you won't have to create our own league, though, right? Kind of like our own little circle.
Yes, we will.
So put it under. We'll let you know next Thursday.
Yes.
We'll set that up. Fat Kyle's in charge.
Also, and I'll put it on the Faithletic Facebook page as well for you to sign up. We'd love to have you.
And you know what we might do if you can beat one of us or both of us? Say if we have we'll have a gift card to the winner. How's that?
Everybody likes Chick-fil-A.
Yeah. How about a Chick-fil-A gift card?
Yeah. For the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl.
Maybe $20 gift card. You put in 10. I put in 10. You good with that?
Absolutely.
Okay, so
Yeah, I'm going to win that gift card.
well, you can't win the gift card.
But if nobody beats me, which they won't beat me. So
Well, you gotta win,
yeah.
and we'll keep it for ourselves. We'll take each other out to eat.
Yes. Hey, I did just checking in with our friends online, which we so love to do. It totally makes it more fun. Mike Benson, big Yankee fan, was able to go to see the Astros play a couple years, or his Yankees Astros in Houston as a Yankees fan. He's just wondering, can we just talk about the cheating scandal of the Astros? So
I haven't even heard about this. What are you
yes.
talking about?
Oh, you haven't heard about
No,
this?
I haven't.
Yes, because we don't talk baseball on
we
the
don't.
show.
Not much.
Yes. So anyway, long story short, there is a cheating scandal within the Houston Astros that their World Series run the past 3 years they have been stealing signals from the other.
Isn't that what baseball does?
They do, but not as blatant. They've set up outfield cameras to get allegedly, from what I understood, and I haven't spent so much time into it, but they have outfield cameras looking at the catchers, stealing the signs, and then using a drum or something. If they hit the drum, whatever, this banging sound once or twice, that means a fastball or curveball is coming.
Oh.
So they were able to steal pitches, not just signs. They were able to steal pitches, and just knock them out of the park. And so they were allegedly doing that throughout. Just crazy. Anyway.
So is there any merit behind this?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. The MLB doesn't know what to do. There's even talk of them all the way to vacating their championship.
Yeah, they're not going to do that. They didn't do that to Bill Belichick, and he cheated far worse than that.
Yeah, I agree. Obviously.
Interesting. Okay, so let's do. We want to do 1.0 or 2.0 today. Which one?
2.0.
2.0. Okay. All right. So,
give the people what they want.
okay. So here's how we're gonna close out tonight. So we've got a little bit left, so guys don't. So we're gonna do. We have our own special original segment called Overvalued, Undervalued, or Money. And if you're joining us for the first time, overvalued is like something that can be a person, a player, an entertainer, a team, a coach, a song, a movie, an actor, an entertainer, something.
Yeah.
And if it's overvalued, then it's not as good as everybody says it is, in your opinion. Undervalued is it needs to have more recognition or right on the money. And generally what we do is one of us asks the other one a question, and we tell the other one why we think it's overvalued, undervalued, or money.
Right.
If we do 1.0, means we're just going to do, I'm going to ask Kyle, or Kyle's going to ask me, and we're done. But if we do 2.0, it's we ask each other, and we do 3 each.
Yes.
And then that's the way it's done. And, at some point in time, we may have a guest, overvalued, undervalued, or money. But today, it's just me and Kyle, 2.0. And we're going to follow up with that with our top 5 college walk-ons of all time in college football. And then we're going to spotlight one of those, and then we're probably going to close out. Something like that.
Yes, we are.
Okay, so you want to start or I'm going to start?
You start.
I'll start on you.
Yes.
Okay. Overvalued, undervalued, or money, NFL referees.
I think they're. Can I choose none of the above?
Well, they make about $280,000 a year,
so they're probably undervalued, and I feel like they need to pay referees more, actually, and not make these guys like, hey, I'm also a lawyer as well. Like, they need to pay them.
This is all they do.
Yes.
They shouldn't be able to have another distraction.
Yeah,
of course, you only get them for
you
3
can't
months out of the
this
year.
can't be a side hustle for them.
Well, it just, I don't know. I mean, these guys, it's a lot of pressure on any referee. Because have you ever refereed before? Have you ever umpired a ball game?
Intramural referee for just a hot second.
Yeah. So I've done basketball, softball, baseball. I've done all those. It's tough. I don't know if I can ever do it again.
It's hard.
It is hard.
Yeah.
And plus, if you're dealing with youth, it's
You're
even worse.
always the bad guy.
Yeah.
Always the bad guy. No matter.
Even though I heckle referees.
Sure.
Yeah.
They deserve it.
All right. So referees are undervalued.
I think so. Just because I think they need to be paid more all across the board. Don't let it be just some sort of, like this is what I do on the side. That's not right.
So how educated are you on Super Bowl quarterbacks? All of them.
I'm pretty well versed.
Okay. So then I'm gonna put you on the spot.
Okay.
Overvalued, undervalued, or money? Joe Willie Namath.
Overvalued.
What? Really? Why?
Because he wasn't super. From what I understand, he was not as great of a quarterback. He just was an icon because he was able to. He was Handsome Joe, Broadway Joe.
Yeah.
I really think that that's the reason why he's probably overvalued. Like he wasn't a great NFL. He doesn't match up to the John Elways of the world, or Drew Brees, or Tom Brady. I've lived in the golden age of quarterbacks. That's why I say that.
Maybe have you ever seen that Football Life on him?
No, I need to
You need to
watch
watch it.
Okay.
And tell me if you have the same opinion.
All right.
I think he's probably money.
Really, you think so?
Just based on, and I grew up watching Joe Namath.
Is he better than Roger Staubach?
No.
There's
only one, in my opinion, there's only one quarterback to ever play better than Roger Staubach.
Peyton Manning?
No.
Tom Brady?
No.
Who?
I don't put
Joe Montana?
Yes.
See, that's what I'm saying. Is like I think you could come up with a list of about, to me, 15 guys before Joe
Maybe,
Namath gets there.
but the thing about how talented he was
Yeah.
in an era when quarterbacks had to be tougher than dirt,
Yeah, right.
and he played with a bad knee since his junior year at Alabama. His knee was shot from the day he stepped on the field with the NFL.
Right, yeah.
And to do what he did and throw the football the way he threw in games that he did it in, to me is remarkable.
Well, Dennis says
Plus partying all night and showing up doing it.
Dennis says on here he knew how to win.
He did know how to win.
So
It's kinda like
I
a Jimmy
guarantee
Man.
we're gonna win the
Yeah.
Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
So I'm not as educated on
Okay.
Joe
Fair enough.
Namath.
Fair enough.
So,
Fair enough.
okay.
That's why I asked how.
Well, I think I'm pretty well versed, but I was like, I don't think I can speak on that far back to Super Bowl 3. I'm thinking maybe 1990.
Okay. Well, you got like 30 years yet.
Oh, yeah.
So 24 years yet. You're missing.
Yeah, I know. Now, baseball, we could go, it's a whole different thing.
Yeah.
So,
Okay. So, overvalued, undervalued, or money? Mickey Mantle. You need to get your microphone over.
I know, I'm still thinking. Probably undervalued,
Yeah.
honestly.
Why?
And again, I never got to watch the Mick play, but like he owned New York City. There was 3 teams at that time where you had Mickey Mantle, Willie Mays, and Duke Snyder that just owned New York City, which I would have loved to be a part of. But everything, like my grandpa talks about Mickey Mantle, like he's
special.
He's a lowercase g god.
Yeah.
Where he was able. I remember him talking about him hitting a baseball over the train tracks in Kansas City.
Oh, wow.
So the raw power that he had, combined with just his charisma and all of that, like he's one of the best of all. There's a reason why, as a baseball card collector, you go to any shop right now, like his card is probably more valued than any card. Just still. If you can find a Mickey Mantle that is in good shape from his rookie season, we're talking thousands of dollars still. So he's so well revered by people, and that's when mainstream media started to pick up on baseball, and he was in the middle of that. So Mick.
Well, I
undervalued.
only caught a few years of him playing because he retired in '69, I think, was his last season.
Yes, it was.
And I only saw about 3 or 4 years of him playing, but I've seen tape and I've read, obviously read, just remarkable player, and he was another one like Namath. He partied all night long most of his career, so he just he played that way, and so did Babe Ruth. I mean, and probably a lot of players in the 40s, 50s, 60s that era. They just stayed out all night long. They showed up to play the game. They were immensely out of shape most of the time. So, of course, nowadays everybody stays in shape year-round. It's tougher. But, okay. So, your turn, 2.0.
Okay. Let's go. Overvalued, undervalued, or money. We'll go back with a throwback. Jimmy Johnson. I just want to get this from your perspective as a Cowboys fan.
Yep.
What is he?
He's money. This is not something that can be handled in a 1-minute overlay, but certainly one of the brightest guys ever coming into the NFL with the ability to evaluate talent, and not only talent, but people have the mental fortitude to play for him. I mean, he found them. He got them to play. He was a very short-term guy, though, because he kind of, that's why I say money. You could say undervalued on him, but he would have never lasted with that style 10 years in the NFL. He got out because, one of the things, he was tired of it. He became bored, but he knew his style does not gravitate to veterans for long periods of time. So, but, Dallas thrived off his talent for a decade, and really, if some of those players that stuck around a lot longer, it'd have been a lot worse for the Cowboys in the late '90s if Jimmy hadn't been there. Of course, they never would have won anything with anybody else. So, definitely money in my standpoint.
All right, here's one for you. This is a good one. The Rolling Stones.
You're probably asking the wrong guy here. I'm not a fan. So I would probably just say money because I know, success-wise, they're, one of the greatest bands of all time, and it's one of the best entertainers, but I'm not a fan. So if I said overvalued, then I'd be saying I'm not a fan. If I said undervalued, I'd say I'm not expert enough to evaluate that. If I compared them to people that I like better, I would say they're overvalued. But I give them money just because of their notoriety.
I am definitely saying
I can think of 10 other entertainers I'd rather see.
Right, but I think the Stones are still one of the best of all time, for sure. And that British invasion led to so much more. And the Beatles and them fed off each other a little bit, just within their music styles and all that. Now, to me, the Beatles were so much better because they covered a wide range of music. They were very experimental, but they were also classic and set just so many genres of music and open doors. So I'm always a Beatles guy over Stones, obviously. Anyway, not still thinking. New thing that I'm actually working on. I don't even think I told you this. Just in my spare time, I'm trying to ignite another one of my passions, which is definitely music. And I am literally going through I'm looking at every other week podcast released on Fridays.
Okay.
Of just taking a band and talking about them from their origins to their history, from their deep cuts to their biggest hits. I'm actually going to start a couple weeks just because I have Fridays off. I have time to do this, and just I'm starting with Elvis Presley.
Oh, get me involved in that one.
Yes, absolutely. So, working on that little special project for sure. So I have another one for you, don't I?
Yes, you do.
Oh, okay. Overvalued, undervalued, or money. I don't know. It's a good one. I'm trying to think. I'm really trying to think. I'm the guy. Allen Iverson. I went basketball.
What?
You.
We're talking about practice.
You don't want to talk about practice.
We're not talking about a game.
We're talking about practice.
We're talking about practice.
I saw. Yes. Allen Iverson was the first thing that came to my mind, and I don't know why. Except for he's been on my brain because I think he's an incredible player. But
if I got to say overvalued, undervalued, or money, I'd probably say. See, here you're getting me with things that I'm not a big NBA guy.
Yeah,
all I remember about him is talking about practice.
Yes.
I'm going to say overvalued.
Okay.
Just because of that?
Just because of that.
Just because of that. I mean, not for you to have respect for your coach.
Okay, let's go this way. Is that a top 5 press conference of all time?
It's one of them.
You think so?
That would be a whole segment right there.
Yeah.
You know, certainly, they're who we thought they are.
Yeah.
In playoffs.
We let them off the hook.
Playoffs.
Yes.
So, that may be something we have to address in one of our segments at some point.
I say he's undervalued, though. I think he could be in the conversation of top 10 or 15 players of all time, talent-wise. So, anyway, just one man's opinion.
Yeah, well, that's. I mean, I just don't care for him.
Yeah,
but
that's okay.
Again, I didn't watch him that often. I know he's a great player. That's all I can say.
I was a Kobe guy. Big time Kobe guy.
Yeah. Okay, so that's our segment: overvalued, undervalued, or money. It's an original content segment, so we appreciate you listening in on it. Everybody out there, hey, we had a couple other people join in. My good friend who's stationed in Alaska.
Wow.
Yep, he's in the United States Air Force, Mr. Michael Halbrook. How are you for joining us? And one of my old high school buddies, Cleve Stubblefield, is also with us.
Welcome.
Yep. So,
glad you're
gosh,
here.
we may have set a record for especially first-time people.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't forget, this show airs Thursday nights.
Mm-hmm. Normally.
Again, we have some commitments that this time of year seems to be crazy. How busy this season is. So we will be airing next Thursday, though. So join us in 10 days from now.
All right. So as promised, we're going to talk about the top college football walk-ons. Some of them, you're familiar with, but there's a couple of players as I'm researching this, as we're sitting here talking, that I had no idea they were walk-ons.
Oh man! Okay.
So I'm gonna tell you who I think probably is the best one ever, but
you have a reason. You have a rhyme behind.
Yeah, I do.
So.
It's kind of part of my segment on our spotlight because. One of the things that we do on this show is we try, as part of the faith side, is we try to spotlight somebody, coach, player, or entertainer, or it doesn't necessarily have to be somebody that famous, somebody we know, who is an inspiration. And that's, we spend about 5 minutes talking about that person or whatever we can do to try to just to bring a spotlight on them, bring inspiration to other people who may have been in similar circumstances. And we generally try to do that every show, although sometimes we cut it short and don't get there. But anyway, so I wanted to create this segment today, top 5 walk-ons of all time. There's 2 names that popped up. I had no idea they were walk-ons. Are you ready for 2 that might surprise you? All right. J.J. Watt.
That is surprising.
I did not know that. He's
number 1 on my list then, right?
Well, he's not number 1 on my list, but... And most of these people, I certainly want to talk about people that you've heard of, because if you hadn't heard of them, they might not have been that great of a walk-on.
J.J. Watt, though, watching him in college, I knew he was going to be a star.
Yeah, but he was actually started as a walk-on.
Yeah,
so, yep, I thought so. Here's another one that started as a walk-on, Santana Moss.
Okay. He's pretty good for a hot second.
Yep. Another one, Colt Brennan.
Colt Brennan, the
quarterback with
Hawaii,
Hawaii.
He,
Yeah.
he set records while he was there at Hawaii. My great-grandma used to call it
Hawaii.
Grandma.
Let me see if there's any other shocking. Jordy Nelson.
Kansas State.
Yep, Kansas State played with the Packers.
Yep.
He was a second-round draft pick, 2008. He
For the
was
walk-on.
36 overall. He started as a walk-in at Kansas. All right, here's another one that surprised me. Clay Matthews.
Clay Matthews. All right, he went to USC, correct?
He was a walk-on at USC. So here's my top three. Are you ready?
Yes.
Do you have a top three? You want to hear mine?
Nah, you go for it.
So top three, and of course I'm doing more of the wow thing. They probably weren't as great of players as they're made out to be. Obviously, those players that we just mentioned had NFL careers, so they're probably better players. But ones that inspired people generally made movies or accomplished things that were or had movies made about them.
Sure.
So number three on that list, Rudy.
Yes.
So those who don't know the story, Rudy, go see the movie.
He was offside.
He was not offsides. I actually saw the video of that sack he made, and he wasn't offsides.
No, it's definitely a running joke on those college game day
No, is it?
signs where it says Rudy's offsides.
He's offsides.
Yes, or there's T-shirts made that he was offsides.
So
I think they're talking about in the movie that he was offsides.
maybe he was there.
Yes.
High school, nothing. Didn't even go to Notre Dame till he was like 21, 22. He didn't have the grades to get in. So he goes to Holy Cross Community College, and he gets his grades up. And finally, the last semester that he can get on, he gets accepted to Notre Dame. And then he goes and walks on, and in his senior season, last game, he gets to suit up, records a sack, and makes it official that he's played in the NFL. So
Yes. Or college.
or in
Notre
college,
Dame.
yeah,
Yep.
Notre Dame. So NFL. So that's my number three. Okay, my number two, as much as it pains me to do so, Baker Mayfield,
Ugh.
because he won the Heisman Trophy, and he's the only walk-on that started as walk-on to win the Heisman Trophy. Comments?
No, I don't want to talk about it.
Well, you gotta.
I don't like Baker.
I don't
But
either.
yeah, I agree with this.
Yeah.
With him being on there. If he's really the only Heisman Trophy winner, he deserves to be on there.
He's
for sure.
He's on some people's number one.
Yes.
He's on the top five in almost everyone's because of that fact.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But his personality kind of that doesn't mean that's kind of like not liking who's somebody nobody can stand that's in the Hall of Fame, baseball Hall of Fame. People hated Ty Cobb. Everybody hated him, but it didn't take away from his ability to play football or baseball.
Yep.
So there you go.
Yeah.
And I don't think other than Oklahoma and Cleveland, anybody, and maybe he's starting to burn bridges in Cleveland, but I don't think there's anybody outside of Oklahoma or Cleveland that likes him.
Sure.
Agreed?
Sure, agreed.
Yeah, okay. So the last one, and a lot of you may have not heard his name before, but if you know anything about college football, you should have, because the whole award is named after him. And if you're a Baker Mayfield fan, he's won this award twice. It's Brandon Burlsworth. And Brandon was an offensive lineman at the University of Arkansas who walked on. And to give you a little bit of information about him, he was an all-conference, maybe all-state player in high school, but he only received scholarships from small schools like Central Arkansas and Harding University and those little schools around in the Arkansas area, Arkansas State. I don't even know if I offered him.
And you were you went to Arkansas.
My freshman year, I went to Arkansas.
Yes,
yeah,
correct.
But that was way after my time.
Sure, right.
So he decides that he wants to walk on at the University of Arkansas, and his mom is not monetarily heavy. I mean, she just doesn't really have the money. So he has to work to be able to go to college there. He also tries on and makes the team at the University of Arkansas. Well, I believe in his sophomore season, they gave him a scholarship. And he walks in there out of shape, overweight, doesn't look the football build.
Sure.
And he molds himself from like 310 pounds down to 260. And he slims himself up, and he works every day. And he actually becomes a starter, gets a scholarship, and then builds himself back up to a 300-pound lineman. So fast forward, he actually becomes an All-American at the University of Arkansas.
Wow.
He won, All-SEC, All-American, and gets drafted in the third round by the Baltimore Colts. Very strong in his faith, gives all of the credit to God. He gave all the credit to God. Just an inspiration to a lot of different people. And Houston Nutt, who came in his senior season, and I was reading this. Houston Nutt wrote this. Anybody know? Well, he was the coach his senior year there.
Yeah.
Houston came in there to say, "Hey, we're going to build this program. You know, we're going to focus on sophomores and juniors and juniors, sophomores, and freshmen. Basically, kind of leaving seniors out of the mix." And Brandon Bolesworth went to Houston Nutt and said, "Hey, we want to win," and basically convinced Houston Nutt that they can win this year, and actually made it to the SEC. If they played a game, and I can't remember, but they won the West.
Sure,
so
it was their last best year.
Yeah,
probably.
Probably that was one of them. But anyway, he managed to convince them, and they ended up winning the West that year and playing in the SEC Conference Championship game. So anyway, he inspired a group of people, led Bible studies, inspired young kids, and some of you may, if you watch football, and this was back in the late 90s, he wore the big black Drew Carey type glasses. So if you saw a guy playing on the sideline for the University of Arkansas back in the late 90s, he wore those big, thick black rim glasses. Sure. Anyway, he gets drafted in the third round by the Indianapolis Colts. He goes for their draft pick tryout or whatever, their first workout session. He goes back home. He goes to Fayetteville to get some of his stuff. He's driving home because he's going to take his mom to church that night, and they never really knew exactly what had happened other than he just veered left of center and ran head onto a semi-tractor trailer, and it killed him. So that just a great story. There's a movie made out of it called Greater, and it's like you just have to understand that there's a purpose in life greater than what you think it is. It's God's purpose.
Sure.
And anyway, cut to the long story, the longer version I probably wanted to have, but there's a award named after him that's for the top college football player in the nation that started as a walk-on, and it's been given every year now for the last 3 years.
Incredible.
Yep, great story. And the movie is called Greater. It was out in 2016 or 17. So if you get an opportunity, you've got Netflix, rent the movie, go, buy the movie, go to the video store, rent it, whatever, and go watch the movie because it's immensely inspirational.
That's awesome.
It's a great movie, and it didn't do that great at the box office because nobody had ever heard of the guy. But,
sure.
I think it only brought in like $5 million, which isn't a whole lot for a movie. But if you go watch it, you'll definitely be inspired by it. It's a great story. So anyway, that's all I got.
Yeah. And that is a pretty incredible just story of faithfulness too within there that he's going to try. Like I think that there's a DNA within those walk-ons that they work hard. They don't take things for granted, and obviously, sure doesn't sound like he did either. And so, yeah, thankful for that. I love these little spotlights that we do, and that's something that I learned. I didn't know that story.
Yeah, it's really good. Yeah. If you, I would highly recommend any of us listening out there to go rent that or
Greater. Yes.
Greater. Great story. In fact, I was looking something up real quick. If you want to.
Yeah. Well, the only devo that I was really thinking about adding is just actually more of a reminder. This season, like there's a lot going on this time of year. I know that there's a lot of people that are actually hurting this time of year because they're missing loved ones and all of that. Like there's name A, B, and C. There's just Christmas season is not always easy. And So my heart within this is just to remind people, again, what the purpose of this season for is. It's Jesus, and that He is the reason, that He is we have a God that was willing to pursue us so much that He sent His own Son to die for us. And so I just pray that we would never, ever forget that this time of year, what great lengths that God went for us. So don't forget that this time of year, because there's so many, every commercial now on TV, Christmas commercial, advertising their products. We want all of these things, and it's been commercial for as long as that I can remember. But it's okay to celebrate that part of culture, but it's not the reason that we celebrate it.
No. Not at all.
Don't forget that as well. And I also just highly recommend that if you have the opportunity, go pay it forward.
Absolutely.
Somehow. I don't know if all of our listeners are believers or what, but I strongly encourage you, pay for somebody's coffee, pay for their groceries if you can. Just go above and beyond with that opportunity, because this is the time to do that, to just pay it forward, because there's so much going on in somebody's life, and you never know how you'll impact it.
That's right.
So don't forget that this season.
You may, and the thing is, don't do it for personal gratification. Absolutely. Because you may never know. And it's just, that's one thing you have to accept. If you're doing things to get reaction out of people, like we tend to do on social media, if you're trying to get responses.
Look what I'm giving away.
Yeah. You're doing it for all the wrong reasons. Don't even worry about what kind of gratification you get from it. Just decide, I'm going to brighten somebody's day. And I've had this slogan since we started Team Black Mentorship. For those that may not understand, this is a mentoring program that I have. I work with kids. And this is one of my mottos, and I've stole this from someone, and I don't exactly know who I stole it from. But it says simple as this: unless you're making someone else's life better, you're wasting your time. So always be trying to, and don't worry about what kind of gratification or reward or what standing it gives you by doing so, because you may never know, and God may never reveal what goodness you've showed in the world.
Yeah, absolutely. Leave people better than you found them.
Yep, absolutely.
Like that's the thing. It's like sometimes you can get so caught up in your day to day, but when you go to Walmart, just think about others, that person that you're checking your groceries out with or whatever. Like, leave that person better than you found them.
Yep.
Jessica and I, it is our goal, and we run errands together and all of that. It is our goal together that we would make that person smile.
There you go.
At the outlet.
Yeah.
Just whether that's just us being funny or whatever.
Well, that shouldn't be too hard to do, because you guys are funny.
Yeah. Jessica is actually funnier than I am. But the two of us together, like, we want to spread that joy. And so it's our goal, wherever we go, to pause and make that person smile.
Good for you.
And that's my goal. And no person's a stranger to me. And I feel like that's the way that we should go out in the world. Especially this holiday season, when it's so easy to do. You've had, how was your Thanksgiving?
Yep.
What are you going to do for Christmas?
Yep.
Like, we have those built-in conversations. Don't be afraid.
Those are great icebreakers.
Yeah. So.
Don't be afraid to ask how somebody's day's going, because there's so many people go, I ain't asking because I don't want to know.
Yeah.
And, there's some people you probably ask where you wish you hadn't asked. But just think about how maybe, how important you made that person feel that day.
Yep.
And again, don't worry about how it makes you feel.
Scott Kenny, you may be the only Jesus I ever see today in the Bible that they're ever reading.
Yep, there you go.
Amen.
That's right.
That's right.
Just for you, Scott.
Yes.
All right, been a great show, Faithletic. This is generally every Thursday night. Tonight, you're getting a special edition. We won't be here live, but I will replay this show on Thursday. So if you want to hear it again, or if you want to tell your friends about it, it will be on Facebook Live on Faithletic, or on YouTube. on our YouTube channel, Faithletic. You
Yes.
can listen to the show again. And then we'll be back a week from Thursday.
Yes.
And we may do our college preview, bowl preview then.
Yeah,
That-
absolutely. Come listen.
Yeah.
We, like we said, we enjoy absolutely 100% the interactive. Your
Yes, thank you. Thank you.
Your comments, everything that just makes this so much better. And we're trying to kind of enter that world even more.
Yep.
So come back, listen to us, comment. We'd love to have you again next Thursday. Be here, and we'll have a lot to talk about again. So,
All right.
thank you for listening.
Yep.
Y'all are wonderful. We love you.
We do. And have a great week, and we'll see you a week from Thursday. Good night, everyone.
Good night.